Welcome back, everybody, to this is our show, Next Level Podcast. Today we have Mr. Or Safir. Very nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. Thank you. You know, I don't know why, but a lot of Israelis, okay, they want to come to my podcast. I'm telling you, young guys, okay, motivated and hungry and fire in the belly, which we love to see.
So I'm the CMO of MotivatedSellers.com. We offer more than 2,000 active investors all across the US. We get them off-market deals.
Residential or
So we work primarily with residential, also in Canada as well. We're starting now as well. And yeah, that's what we do.
off market? So give me an example of a house.
So basically, the way we work is we spend a lot of money on ads all across America. I can tell you $40,000 to $50,000 a day through YouTube, Google, Facebook, just to get to these people's, page. And then once this person is motivated, he's getting a divorce, someone died in the family, he doesn't have the money to pay off, it's about to be a foreclosure. Right away, they submit their information, and in real time, we send that to the investor.
So give me an example. Okay, so now you have an investor or now you have a seller. They want to sell. What is the good, in your opinion? What's a good buy?
So a good buy, and it also depends on today's market and every state. I feel like, for example, I can tell you a story of an investor we just had in Texas. He had a seller that needed to sell really, really fast. And it was like a small city in Texas, so houses were for $60,000, $70,000. But because the person needed to sell fast, it was urgent, he got the deal for $10,000, and there was no rehab needed for the property. You know what I mean? So right away, he got a $10,000 property that's worth already $60,000. So either you can sell it right away and make a $50,000 profit in equity, or you can hold on and, get rent.
If I am in a deal like that, I make you a partner 50-50. How about that? Yes.
Okay.
You like that?
I love that.
But believe me, listen, I'm very picky and I know stuff. But if you tell me, okay, I'm paying 10,000, okay, for 50, we'll do a 60-40. I get 60%, you get 40%. How about that?
We can do that. There's deals everywhere.
Why would you want a commission? If you tell me there is such a high, okay, leverage, such a high profit mark, okay, that's like 5x more, okay? 10,000 to become 50,000, I'll write you a check right now.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's not in Florida, right? Probably Texas.
Right now, Florida has a problem, especially with the insurance and the taxes. Again, I love Florida. Everyone wants to live in Florida.
So give me a typical deal. Let's say I'm a seller, I have a house for you, I'm asking $900,000.
Okay.
I guess you're not gonna take the listing, or you're not gonna advertise it if it's market deal.
Okay, no, of course.
You want to make sure. So what, in your opinion, what will be wholesale? So you do a wholesale.
We provide the deals to wholesalers and investors, you know what I mean? And the wholesaler gets the deal right away from us, the lead, gets all the information, and then sends it to an investor.
But price-wise, so if it's $900,000, the market is $850 to $900, okay? And the guy asking $900, okay? What price level are you comfortable, okay? So you can advertise the heck out of it,
You're
okay?
Right. So if it's around $900,000, first of all, I want to see the property. If it needs a lot of rehab,
No rehab.
No, just
No,
the way it is.
right.
The way it is, but he's urgent to sell.
Yeah, but it's a turnkey.
I would say at least 20% under. I would give him the cash offer.
20% under, which is okay, fair enough. 720.
Exactly.
Right.
More or less.
More or less.
So that's like the deal I want to get, and then from there,
And then for that price break, okay, somebody's gonna pay 720. With the idea you can flip it for 800.
Exactly. And then
Okay, those are coming.
Profit on that.
Right. But the 10,000 really got me.
You like that?
I like that.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay.
So in today's market, again, America is such a big country. You know what I mean? We come from Israel, small country. People think we're billions of people.
Where in Israel?
Where in Israel am I from? So I was born in Netanya.
Netanya, we live in Netanya.
And then I left when I was 5. I moved to Miami for 2 years. And then after that, I moved to LA. Grew up in Los Angeles. And then at one point I was like, listen, man, my grandparents, my family, everyone's in Israel. Let me take a change in life. Let me go back to Israel. I studied in Reichman University, if you're familiar, in Herzliya. And then after that, I went into the tech industry. So I'm not from the real estate industry. My father is. My father does flips and builds in the West Coast, in Seattle and LA primarily, and San Francisco a little bit. So he's on the, back and forth. And then I decided, I was like, it was around COVID time. Let me kind of like live the best life that I wanted to, you know what I mean? Because everyone was like stressed. Everyone was at home. I took my computer with me. I lived a year in Asia, a year in Europe, just enjoyed my life while working. And then I met my girlfriend, which brought me back to the US. And now we're here in Aventura. And you know, when you're in America, man, you realize, you know, real estate is the industry to be in. Really, there's no other place to be in if you're here in this country.
Agreed.
It's insane.
So what do you do? So you basically make a mission?
So right now, for Motivated Sellers, I'm in charge of all marketing.
Right.
So I do all the partnerships with investors. I'm the one who runs our own podcast as well. So today I know we have half, but we have our own podcast where we speak to the biggest investors in America, you know, that are deal with residential. And today I wanted to have you on because you're kind of a bit of everything. You have a really interesting story that I want to hear more
Of
about.
course you will, yeah.
You started from like nothing. You
Right.
came to America. You're really good at catching people's attention. And, you know, I want to see what your next steps are also in the industry. So, yeah, everything marketing related, that's where I come in. I know how to, you know, get people's attention, do marketing. You're also a marketing genius yourself. You know how to.
No, we're trying.
Well,
Why don't you work on yourself to go to the next level where you can become an owner? That's where the money is. Buy and flip. I mean, that guy, okay, bless his heart, he paid $10,000 to make 50,000. How much you made?
How much?
How much you made? Not too much.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not looking down that. That's a learning curve. Make sense?
Yeah.
That's how you learn, okay, I have to go to the next level, which I'll tell you about my life, okay? So you're a young guy. You have a lot of years ahead of you. I'm an old man already, but no, seriously, you're a young guy, and the opportunities are endless. What I want you to think after you leave today, okay, I want you to think about how do I take my business to the next level. So if I find something, yeah, the $900,000, 20%, okay, maybe that's very thin, the margin. Makes sense? But if I find something that I think it's worth $900,000, and I can pick it up for like 500, okay, you're going to find, I'm going to give you right now the best advice anybody can give you, okay, like I will give to my son, okay? You're going to think, okay, you know what? Where's Joy Lezer here? Joy Lezer?
Right here.
Right. We have a young guy, okay? I'm talking to my viewers, okay? Smart guy, okay? Intelligent, motivated, fire in the belly, okay? And I have a problem with this guy. Why? He's now working smart, okay? It's okay, you know, in other words, you're beginning, you know what I mean? It's a baby step, okay? I want you to take your business to the next level. I want you to think, okay, Lee, if I can pay $500 for this house, okay, and it's worth $900, okay? I'm not interested in commission. I want part of the profit. You're going to go to someone like me, somebody else, okay, that in the business, okay? So listen, guys, I have a tremendous deal for you where you can double your money. I want you to put me in a deal. Well, even 10%, 20, whatever it is, okay? And that's how you work yourself up. Does that make sense?
Right.
No, it may not be for every deal. If the deal is just 10, 20% below market value, I'm talking about something that a lot of juice. And you're going to thank me. Another year from now, you're going to give me a call back and say, you know what? I took your advice, okay? I'm next level now.
What makes a good deal in your opinion? Let's say we find a property in Tampa right now, right? Its property's worth around 800, but the property needs some work. Well, what makes it a good deal?
Well, asking how much?
They're asking around 650.
650, and what's the market call for?
Market value is 800.
Too much, because then you have to put work into it, right? How much you got to put into it?
So it also depends on you know, how much you could get the work for. You know what I mean? Some people are gonna pay a little bit more for it. Some people less.
Would you say 50? What do you need? The roof? 50. That's a 50, okay?
Yeah.
How much you paying?
650.
650 plus. Thank you. Plus 2 closing costs, plus commission for the selling. Plus you have to carry it too. You're not making money.
So how much would you pay for
500.
that?
500.
So 500 is around $300,000 less.
Yes.
It's a
Deep disc.
it's a good deal.
For me.
Yeah.
For me, it's 500 because I want to make money.
For sure.
I'm not interested. You know, if I lose the house, I go to the next one. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
Now, however, you do have people, okay, because we are mostly multifamily, 200 plus units around Florida. You do have people that will pay, was it 650? 650. They will expect to make low margin. Make sense?
Yeah.
And they're gonna they work on volume, so they don't care if they make a 20K. 20. Remember, if you make 10 to 20K, 25K, you're now within the margin. The margin meaning you're very, it's a dangerous zone because it's not enough. We're not talking about 200,000 pounds, we're talking about $800,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, okay, just because the market is $800,000, okay, so I pay $650, I'm gonna renovate it, okay, I'm gonna list it. If you tell me, if you can guarantee me that I can be in and out within 3 months after I put $500,000 and I can in and out. I already have a buyer. You have a buyer for $800,000.
Mhm.
It's a conversation.
Yeah.
You don't have a buyer for $800,000. You're thinking the value is 800, but to get out quick after you fix it, 750 maybe, 725. You're not making money,
That's true. That's a good point.
right? But you do have wholesaler, okay, that they know what you're doing and they'll buy it for very small margin. So you have to tap into those.
Exactly. If they're just selling the contract, they're just trying to get as much as they can. You know.
They don't care. 10,000, 5,000,
Exactly.
10,000,
That adds up
15,000.
for
Okay.
you.
Yeah, they do like 10 a month. Okay.
Exactly. Okay, very interesting. So right now, let's hear more about your story. I know I spoke a little bit about myself. I remember scrolling one day, and I get a lot of real estate things on my feed. But then you really caught my attention. You know what I mean? You give
How did I
really-
go to? Huh?
you give some really, really good tips, but at the same time, you were also like interesting and different. You know what I mean? So you really caught my attention, and I was like, I got to get this guy on the podcast. I got to hear more about him. I got to hear your story. I got to see why you're doing things in this way and in other ways. So can you just like tell us about how you started, how you got to the US and what you do today, and then we can build off of that?
Sure. So I came to the US around age of 16.
Mm-hmm.
My dad actually, I was very close to him at the time. He passed away. He wanted better for me. So as you know, in Israel, I don't know about now, but we're going back 50 years ago,
Mhm.
40, 50 years ago, there's different class people, the Ashkenazi and Sfaradim, okay? I'm Sephardi, Persian. You too?
Uh-huh.
Which one?
So my dad's Georgian,
Oh,
Jogi, yeah, and then my mom's Tunisian.
Oh, Tunisian.
She has a little bit of Ashkenazi, yeah, but
I know, it's good, yeah. So in Israel, okay, the Ashkenazi, they have the upper level.
that's what my dad says.
So what?
My dad says the same thing.
And you know what? For the life of me, I'm thinking, didn't we learn anything from the Holocaust? We lost 6 million Jews. Who
Right.
cares? We are Jewish. We're all Jewish, okay? But anyway, so my dad said, you know what? I want better for you. You're going to go to America. And I don't know. I'm a stupid kid at 16. What do you know at 16?
Exactly.
Nothing, okay? I go, at the time, my uncle owed my father. My uncle was in New York, Upper West Side. He owed him a couple $1,000. I say, bring him to me, I'll take care of him for a month. I'll give him housing. I stay for a month. Then, by the way, I'm writing a book.
Wow,
Yeah, I'll give you a copy. Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. I stay for a month, and then I went to a place called it's a yeshiva in Rochester, New York. Yes, Chafetz Chaim. Rochester, New York is very cold all the time. Big snow. 6 months. Okay, snow this much.
Wow.
Terrible. Okay, I didn't speak the language. They gave Shakespeare classes in the morning. Think, are you kidding me? Kind. So all the studies, okay, with a dormitory. So what I did every night for 6 months, okay, I had a dormitory with rats, mice and stuff. Okay, bad, very bad. Okay, I just basically listened to talk radio ABC,
Mm-hmm.
and just listen to the language and write down words that I did not know, which pretty much I did not know 99% of the words. And I kept and I had a dictionary, and I kept on, okay, for hours at a time, every single night. That's how I picked up the language.
Were there times that it was so hard for you, or like, what am I doing here? Let me go back to Israel.
Very lot of snow. Okay, I couldn't go back. At that time, just to call Israel, it's like $3.50 a minute.
So you had no choice. You have
I had no choice. I believe that year I grew very fast.
sometimes in life, you have to go through the worst
I
stuff
have to go.
just to get that
Just to-
inner
exactly.
thing out of you, the
Right, right.
monster, the animal outside of you to really get to the
Correct,
next
yeah.
stage in life. Wow.
I came back to New York at the time. I still did not finish high school. I did high school at over the summer. Finished my diploma. My brother came to town back then, and my uncle had like a little space in a basement where he told me, what you can do? You can rent a Xerox machine,
Mm-hmm.
get it for free, list it, okay, and make copies for people. 6 cent a copy. People then come, put a sign. We did that. We make copies, people come in for copies. I did resumes. especially doing resume with people, Kort Chaim, right? Did charge $10, whatever, $15. Okay, I did that. Okay, and we moved to another location. Bottom line, I was there for 3 or 4 years, maybe more. I met my wife over there, and at the time I felt like, my wife is a Jewish girl, right? And we all know what the Jewish like to do. The girls nag. Okay, she always wanted me to go to the next level. Okay, I was working with my brother at the time, 10 years older than me. We are best friends now, of course, yeah. But I felt like I didn't feel like it was mine. Even though I was a partner, okay, I felt like I need something of my own. So I started trading commodities. Commodities, next level stock markets, highly speculated. Lost a lot of money. And during that time, my wife was also complaining about the weather. So, it's too cold here. I gotta get out of here. I'm always sick in the winter. I want Florida. Because we went back and forth Florida, and at the time I had 2 little girls, okay? And I say, no, I can't. I gotta stay here. Finally, after a couple of years of nagging, I said, okay, we go to Florida. I go down to South Florida with just about $250,000 in the red. Zero would have been good in the red.
Wow.
Yeah, true story. We decided, you know what, I can't make it, because I was like so addicted to it. Like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna become the next whatever. The next big guy in commodities. Didn't make it. I took my real estate license to become a residential broker, residential realtor. I went to my first listing for residential, and the guy at Delray Beach, the guy had like a $2 million home for sale. Okay. So, he showed me, this is the garage, and this is where you put the lights on, like this, move very, very, it's like, get out of here, it's not for me, okay? I say, you know what, I need something more fast-paced. I saw an ad in a paper for a commercial real estate. A company in Handle Beach, right? They're recruiting people, inexperienced. As long as you have a license, come to us, we'll teach you everything. I went over there, okay? 50 agents. I was still learning the language at the time, okay? And everybody was very lazy. Very, very lazy. I realized quickly, you know what? That's my opportunity. Because, if you see what's going on, you see that there's a need for commercial real estate. There's a need. There is a good, I had a good structure. I had a mentor, okay? I'm going to take it and run with that. And I did. So I used to go back at night, every night, and make cold call. Remember, that time, no YouTube, no social media, no nothing, okay? You have to get creative and take the people number from the Sun Sentinel, apartment for rent, and you call the owners. Except one thing, there's no cell phone. So you have to call the owners after 5.
Wow.
So I used to go back after 5 to 10 o'clock, every single night. If I don't make 200 phone calls, I don't go home. Yeah, it's what we call fire in the belly. We're Israeli, right? We don't believe in failing. Failure is not an option.
Our mentality is survival. And
survival, right? Yeah, when I go up, okay, until it's 16, almost every month, go to the miklat, go to the safe house in Jerusalem, because every time you hear the siren, okay, they're gonna attack you.
Exactly.
It's very it's
fast-paced survival.
Survival of the fittest.
Exactly.
Right. So I became top agent, and I met my first partner. He come into the office, say, you know what, 50 agents, right? And you see my name on the wall. Top agent 1998, top agent 1999, top selling agent 2000, top listing agent. So I want him. The lady's like, listen, he's busy. I have like 40 other agents for you drinking coffee, lazy. No, I want him. The guy's a snob. I want this guy. You wait for me like at least 5 hours. I sold him a lot of properties, and down the road, after a while, I say, you know what, come with me. Let's become partners. Because I figure, you know what, my wife is like, listen, those people, you're making money for them. They're coming from New York, a lot of Jewish people. Okay, Jewish people love me from New York. We have a great relationship. And I say, you know what, I will sell them a building, right? $5 million. They'll flip it for $7-8 million. I make commission $50,000, but they make $2 million.
Exactly.
How would you like to make $2 million, not $200,000? I love it. I give back my license. And by the way, for the first year during that time, okay, I did not make a dime, nothing. First 13 months.
So how did you live? You know, you have two
Credit cards. And I had some. I rented a place that I owned my first house. My first house I owned in and I was 21 years old. You know, a few years earlier in New York.
Mhm.
So I rented a house. Okay, and I also bought a condo. So I was from the copy machine. I was saving money, and I was from very early age on my first house. So I had income coming in, maybe 2,000 a month. Okay, I was able to live from that. My first check was $255,000. Yeah, we're going back 25 years ago.
Wow. So what was your first
From
like?
that point on, okay, it was coming in.
What was your first deal though? That you
148 as a broker, 148 unit called Inland Tower.
Mhm.
Some old man came from New York, you know. He liked me, and he said, "Listen, I'm an honest person, you know. I mean, I'm not, you know. I take care of my clients, you know. I take them, I show them around. I'll pick them from the airport. I take them back to the airport, okay.
Mhm.
And there was a good value. Say, you know what? I want to buy this deal. 148 unit, $5.5 million. The seller say, you know, I don't. His name is Alex, okay. He did not believe I can get him the price. So you sign something. Okay, if you give me the price, he made $2 million. Okay,
Mhm.
whatever. Okay, he was happy at the end of the day, but he couldn't believe. Okay, how much money? Okay, I was able to bring to the table for him. You know.
Yeah. So today you focus more on commercial or multifamily?
So wait. So I was doing that time. We're going back 20, 25 years ago. I did retail, I did warehouses, I did vacant lot, I did condo conversion, you name it. I did office building, I did single tenant, okay. I got a phone call. And you know, I'm a kind of guy that I always want to be with smartest people than me. I don't want to be with somebody stupid or somebody my level. I need to be surrounded with smarter people. At the time, the partner I had, okay, so he called me up about 7 years ago. You know what? You want to make money? Yeah, I'm making money. No, but you want to really make money. Next level. What do you mean? Next level. So sure, next level. Sell everything. Get involved multi-family. So we sold everything, got involved multi-family. We're going back about 7 years ago. We bought a few thousand units, and then we had an exit doing after COVID, where we were able to achieve just under 50% IRR.
Wow.
For like some few thousand units, yeah. Different community, from Gainesville to Tampa to Orlando to Miami to Fort Lauderdale.
So you're investing
Palm
all
Beach.
over Florida.
Yeah. So today we are coming back. Okay, we own apartments, build communities. We want to buy more. We want to buy 10,000 units. Okay.
And for people that are watching this, what would you recommend them? So you do multifamily today and you do it at a very high scale. Do you think single family, multifamily, commercial, which one is the best and why?
Multifamily is the best because rent going up every single year. That's a fact. Okay, and people need a place to live. And especially now with the tariffs and stuff like that, the warehouses and industrial, okay, people are scared now because of, you know, they have to buy stuff to storage, right?
Mhm.
For export, for import. Now, with the tariff, nobody knows what's happening.
Exactly.
So the multifamily, it's always going to be strong because unless you think Florida is going to be empty tomorrow, people are coming in, not leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes, people are leaving too, but more coming in. So human being always need a shelter. So we love multifamily. Now, what I'm doing next few days in the shorts, I'm going to analyze 20 unit. Most people don't, you know, they're not the ones that small. 10 unit, 50 unit, you know, Hollywood, Miami, okay. And I'm gonna let everybody know what they think is the right price. Because unfortunately, okay, we have a rule. We use a rule called 1% rule.
Mm-hmm.
What's the 1% rule? If I'm paying $150 per door, I want to have my rent just to be around $1,500.
That's a good rule.
So let's say I'm paying for 10 units, okay, $1.5 million, right?
Yeah.
And then it's not for me, again, for my audience, okay? And I'm going to be able to demonstrate what is the 10 unit worth. What does it mean? If I'm paying $1.5 million for 10 units and my rent is $900, I'm overpaying. But the seller said, no, don't worry, you can get $1,500. For free, I'm gonna get it, and then what? But I'm paying you for the future. I'm not doing that. At $1,500, $1.5 million. That's my selling price.
And how do you get your deals?
My what?
Your deals.
My deal we get offline and market deal.
through different networks? or
Network.
you guys
But listen,
advertise?
market deal too. People want to know. I get a lot of question about actually the off market deal. People love, off market deal is the best. It's not true. It's not true. I'm not gonna overpay for off market deal. Just like market deal, I'm not going to overpay. So it has to do. I don't care what you want to call it, market deal, off market deal. Okay. I don't care what you want to call it. Okay. We are looking to make sure. And by the way, I don't care how much the current seller pay for it. If the seller pay for it $40 million, asking for it $60 million, my question is, what can I do with this property for the future? How can I add value? Not, gee, now what? The guy is making $20 million on me. I don't care. We bought a property going back years ago, 160 unit, Deerfield Beach, many years, maybe 15 years ago, for $12 million, right? 12 million. The previous guy, Israeli guy, Israelis, he paid 2 years prior $3 million.
What?
Yeah, he was making $8 million profit, plus he gave me 40 units, okay? 40 units that vacant due to a fire. And he kept the money on that too. He kept the commission, okay? The fire, what you proceed, okay? So people's like, are you kidding me? Why are you giving the guy, I don't care how much the guy, I don't care if the guy for free. I ended up selling for $20 million plus, okay? Right. So I need to have a story. I need to have, okay, a good story. Makes sense? The number is, when we look at the property, I don't underwrite the property, how much I'm paying now. I underwrite the property, how much I can sell it for.
For sure, that's a good way.
You understand what's going on here? Most people don't understand that. It's not about me, it's about the next seller, the next buyer.
You're
What the buyer. Absolutely, because if I buy the building, it's a beautiful building, and I like the color, I'm losing money. I need to buy because the number makes sense. Macy's parade, right? Every year, July 4th, there is a big parade in Macy's, right? In New York. What do you think happened the next day? They get ready for the following year. The same thing with us. When we buy property, the first day of closing, we reposition ourselves for refi a year down the road. Either refi or sell. To get our money back for our investors and for ourselves.
Are there any deals right now that you're working on that you're very excited that you would like to share?
Yeah, we have right now. I mean, that we're looking to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at a couple of projects. One project is in Tallahassee, 200 unit. We think we can get it. We can do 2x on that.
Wow. Now you're talking to me. Big numbers. If you were to start from scratch today, 2025, what's the date today?
With no money?
May 5. No money.
I'm going to give you a nice
But your
secret.
amazing personality, but that's it. No money, no nothing.
I'll tell you what you do, okay? If you're 18 years old, 18, 19, how old are you?
I'm 25.
You look like 18.
I know. I shaved a little.
That's good. That's good. You always want to look younger.
Exactly.
So I told my audience, okay, no concept I teach him, okay? You can start with zero. What do? Find the deal, come to me, I catch you in the deal 10%. Find the right deal for me. You like that?
Love that.
You don't have to get commission, nothing, because you're not the license, okay? I'll put you in deal 10%. And if it's really sweet, I'll even make it 15%, okay? But you gotta find a deal. You gotta knock on doors, you gotta make phone call, okay?
So that's the best way to
That's
start.
the best way, no money. Another way to start is, if you have a little money, get your license. And focus on an area that you like. If you're in Florida, okay, I would focus in Orlando, Tampa.
Yeah, those are great markets.
Great market. And you can start with a single family home, but the single family home is very tricky.
In what sense?
In the sense that we talk an example, right? Where it's $800,000 Tampa, $800,000. I'm paying $650. So the $800,000 market value. That doesn't mean you're gonna get rid of it in one day.
Of course.
It might take 6 months. You have to be able to carry the interest, not just the renovation, the interest, and then you have to make sure there are 2 closing costs or commission. Okay, so that margin is a little bit slim. It's not very big.
I see. Okay. Very interesting. And then, so, as I told you, the way I found you was on social media. And then since then, I've been following you. I've been learning a lot about the stuff you do. In your opinion, for investors, multifamily, commercial, single family, why is it so important for investors to get on social media in today's world?
Well, if you are a potential investor, you're looking to buy, why not advertise on social media? My name is XYZ, okay? I'm looking to spend such and such amount, and I can close quickly. And give the area you want to go, yes?
Yes. And what results have social media given you?
So for me, I'm not on social media to find properties. I'm on social media, okay, to give back to the world. To give back to the world, okay, some very solid, very good information, so they don't make a mistake buying properties.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Very. Yeah.
Right. Because I see too many. I made mistakes, obviously. Okay, called a growing pain. I did not have a mentor, except I have my wife next to me. We work together. Okay, my better half. Okay, but other than that, I had to learn everything from scratch.
Yeah, it's very important to have a mentor in today's world because you want to go into an industry, but you can make a lot of mistakes when this mentor could just tell you, listen, just do this, this, and this. You'll be fine. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Skip through this part, and then there's going to be other things coming along your way.
Agreed.
Because
Agreed.
always in every industry, the beginning, as you spoke about your beginning, my
Right.
dad, when he came to America, he came to Florida, started cleaning carpets, used to take me with him. So watch him clean carpets. You know what I mean? So
Only that.
the beginning is always the hardest.
I had a rabbi, when I grew up in Israel, at age of 13, and he said he had a thing, he's like, you know what? I don't care what kind of job you do, clean houses, clean the floor, okay. I don't care what you do, okay. You can clean toilet, okay, as long as you're not outside and begging. Okay, a job is a job,
Mhm.
okay, and that's important. Now you want to also know that you do it temporarily until such time come when you can take yourself to a next level, because you don't want to be in a bubble, and that's my message to the world. Okay, people get too comfortable 9 to 5,
I agree.
but do not lose the 9 to 5 job. Rather, work on yourself after hours to see what you can do.
Do you have a quote or a book or a podcast or something that every investor should hear or know about that can, take them to that next level?
So we're working on that. But my shorts don't tell a lot of it. YouTube. We do have some good stuff on YouTube, good workshop on YouTube about real estate. And other than that, they have to, I think, just Google, then go to YouTube and look at anybody that talks about real estate and talk about how to improve yourself. By the way, next level, it's not just about money. It's not about business. It's about, it's like you have to see yourself, the inside of you. It's almost like, you don't like yourself. Let's say you have to like yourself. You have to love yourself, right? Not too much love, because there's too much love going on, okay? But you have to know yourself, okay?
Yeah.
What you can do, you cannot do. And I would, my best advice is to team up with someone smarter than you to take it to the next level.
For
I
sure.
did that.
They say the 5 people that you surround yourself with is who you are. You know what I mean? And
But show me your friend and show you who you are.
Exactly.
How about that?
exactly. And I love that quote. And, I always try to get outside of the comfort zone. I always try to meet new people.
Right.
I always try to, and it works.
What do you see yourself the next 10 years?
Next 10 years, that's a great question. And then I want you to answer the same thing.
Mhm.
That's something we can conclude with. So as I told you, I come from the tech world. I love the tech world. Now I'm in the real estate world. I love the real estate world. If I can combine those two together and create some kind of startup in the prop tech world, or if I can, on the side, invest in Florida, Georgia, Tennessee is a great market right now, South North Carolina. If I can invest on the side while building up this portfolio in real estate and ideas and meeting cool people like you that are in the industry, I think that's the direction I want to go in. Hopefully either build a real estate portfolio, build a startup in the industry. And then eventually, when I'm a bit older, I'd love to open up a hotel somewhere, maybe multiple hotels.
Why hotel? Why?
I love people. I've traveled my whole life. I love meeting the different people. Everyone here is amazing. The people we met today, really good meeting you. So just meeting different cultures, meeting different people, hosting people. And that also has to do with real estate. You know what I mean? Hotel is a piece of real estate.
Right.
So either somewhere in the world and, opening up a place where people can connect, creating a community, creating a place where people, because as you know, in today's world, it's not like back then where It's easy to talk to people. Today, everyone's on their phone. You know what I mean? There's no real connections anymore. It's really hard to meet people, even the way relationships are. I thankfully met my girlfriend. She was in the same kindergarten class as me, and I only knew that 20 years later. We found out.
About it.
You see how God is? That's insane.
It's the same.
But today, in today's world, man, like, people meet through apps. People don't really have real connections. The way the conversations people have is just like, you know, it's very shallow. So if we can go back to the way that things used to be, where things, you know, me and you can sit for hours and talk now, feel purposeful, deep connections.
Agreed.
That's a big dream of mine. You know what I mean? So that's where I see my life heading to, wherever it is. You know, hopefully I can do that.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for coming. And if you guys like what you see, please tune into YouTube, my YouTube channel, and press subscribe and share. Tremendous good information coming your way. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.